My nephew opened every present with my daughter's name on it while my parents laughed. "You need to leave now." My mother's face went white. "Are you seriously kicking us out on Christmas over some toys?" "This isn't about toys, Mom. This is about you watching my daughter so while you laughed and filmed it for your phone." "Get out of my house." "Alizia, you're being ridiculous." I said, "Get out. Let me back up." "Hi, I'm Alicia, and I'm about to tell you how one Christmas morning destroyed my family forever. But honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. For 34 years, I believed family meant unconditional love. That parents were supposed to support all their grandchildren equally, that blood ties meant something sacred. Then Christmas Day arrived, and I watched my 8-year-old nephew Cameron rip through every single present labeled for my 6-year-old daughter Lily, while my parents stood there laughing like it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen. That was the moment everything shattered. Lily was the sweetest kid you'd ever meet. Shy, creative, with these enormous green eyes that lit up when she talked about her art projects. She'd spend hours drawing elaborate fairy kingdoms and building cities out of cardboard boxes. My husband Derek and I were so proud of her gentle spirit. My sister Brooke's son Cameron, total opposite, loud, demanding, and used to getting whatever he wanted the second he wanted it. After Brooke's messy divorce 3 years ago, she'd moved back in with our parents. And suddenly Cameron became the son their entire world revolved around. The shift happened fast. Family dinners that used to include everyone now centered completely around Cameron's travel soccer schedule. Every conversation turned into stories about how gifted Cameron was at sports, how popular he was at school, how he was definitely getting a college scholarship someday. Lily would try to share something about her day, maybe a compliment from her teacher or a new drawing she'd made, and Mom would barely glance up from texting Brooke about Cameron's next game. But Cameron could literally burp the entire alphabet, and they'd react like he'd just solved world hunger. "Mom, Lily won second place in the school art competition," I said one October Sunday at their house, holding up the certificate with the official seal. That's nice, sweetheart." Mom didn't even look at it. She was scrolling through photos on her iPad. "Cameron, come show Aunt Alizia that bicycle kick you at practice. Show her the move, honey." Cameron jumped up and started demonstrating this elaborate soccer move while Dad filmed it on his phone. Both of them cheering like he was performing at the World Cup. Lily's little face just crumpled. She quietly folded her certificate back into her backpack, and I watched her blink back tears. Derek noticed, too. That night, after we'd put Lily to bed, he poured us both wine and said, "They're not even pretending anymore. Or Alizia, your dad didn't say a single word to Lily during dinner. Not one." "I know. I'm going to say something to them, but I didn't. I kept hoping they'd snap out of it, that they'd realize what they were doing. Classic mistake, waiting for people to change when they've shown you exactly who they are." Christmas had always been sacred in our family. Every year we'd gather at my parents' sprawling house in the suburbs, exchange gifts around their massive tree, and Mom would make her famous cinnamon rolls for breakfast. It was tradition, but this year I decided to host at our place. I wanted Lily to feel special in her own home, to have one holiday where she wasn't invisible, where she could be the star for once. I spent 3 weeks preparing everything. Derek and I strung lights across every window, hung handmade ornaments Lily had crafted, set up a hot chocolate bar with every topping imaginable. I planned this elaborate breakfast spread: buttermilk pancakes, applewood bacon, scrambled eggs with chives, fresh fruit salad, and those croissants from the French bakery Lily loved. For Lily's gifts, Derek and I had saved for months. We bought her the professional art supply set she'd been circling in catalogs since summer. 72 colors of markers, oil pastels, watercolors, sketch pads, the works, plus chapter books from her favorite series, some cozy winter clothes, and the centerpiece gift, an elaborate Victorian dollhouse she'd been dreaming about since her birthday. It was 3 feet tall with real working lights and tiny furniture. I wrapped each present carefully using thick gold paper and burgundy ribbon. Every tag was printed in large, clear letters to Lily from Mom and Dad with little hearts drawn around her name. 26 presents total arranged in a special section under the tree. For Cameron, I bought 6 nice gifts because I wasn't going to punish him for my parents' behavior. He was just a kid, even if he was a spoiled one. I got him age-appropriate stuff, a Nerf gun set, a science experiment kit, some books, a new soccer ball, a Giants jersey, and the new video game he'd mentioned wanting. Christmas morning arrived. I'd told everyone to come at 10 o'clock. My parents showed up at 8:30 with Brooke and Cameron. "We're here," Mom announced, barging through the door without even ringing the bell. No Merry Christmas, no appreciation for the decorations, nothing. Cameron immediately made a beeline for the tree. "Presents? Hold on, buddy," I said, intercepting him gently. "We're going to have breakfast first as a family. Then we'll open presents together." "Okay." "Why?" Cameron wed, his face already turning red. "I want to open them now." "Cameron, sweetie, we'll eat first," Brooke said without conviction, already pulling out her phone to check something. We sat down for breakfast. I'd set the table with the good China Christmas placemats, everything. Lily had helped me create these beautiful napkin rings with pine cones and ribbon, and she was so proud of them. "Grandma, look!" Lily pointed excitedly at her creation. "I made these yesterday. See the sparkles?" "Very nice," Mom said, not even glancing at them. She was already turning to Cameron. "Cameron, honey, I made sure to bring those chocolate chips you like," she said, "the special dark chocolate ones from Whole Foods." Of course she did. Derek caught my eye across the table and squeezed my hand, where no one could see. He was already tense. We both were. After breakfast, we moved to the living room. The tree lights twinkled, casting a warm glow over all the carefully arranged presents. "Okay, everyone," I said, trying to sound cheerful. "Let's do gifts. Lily, sweetheart, why don't you hand them out to everyone?" "I'll do it!" Cameron jumped up before Lily could even move from the couch. "Actually, Cameron, I asked Lily to." "Oh, let him help," Mom interrupted, waving her hand dismissively. "He's so excited. Don't be so rigid, Alicia." My jaw clenched. "Fine. But Cameron, you need to read the names very carefully, okay? Give each person their own presents." Cameron grabbed the first package. "This says Lily." He looked genuinely disappointed, like finding her name was a personal insult. "Great, so give it to Lily," I said evenly. He practically threw it at her. She caught it and smiled, starting to carefully peel back the tape at the edges. Lily always opened presents like that, trying so hard not to tear the pretty paper. "Open it faster," Cameron demanded. "I want my turn." "Cameron, please be patient," I said. He grabbed another present. Lily again. He tossed it toward her harder this time. It slid across the hardwood floor. "Lily, Lily, Lily, where are mine?" "Cameron, there are presents for you too," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. "See those 6 right there with the blue tags? Those are all yours." He looked at his 6 presents, then at Lily's pile of 26, and his entire face went crimson. "That's not fair. She has way more than me." "Cameron, listen," I said carefully, kneeling down to his level. "These presents are from me and Derek because we're Lily's parents. Your mom bought presents for you, and Grandma and Grandpa brought gifts too. It's going to even out, okay?" "But I want more!" he screamed, and I mean screamed. The sound was shrill enough to hurt my ears. "Tyler, honey, don't get upset." Brooke finally looked up from her phone. Then she had the audacity to look at me and say, "Alexia, couldn't you have been more thoughtful about the distribution? He feels left out." I stared at her, genuinely stunned. "Are you serious right now? He's not my child, Brooke. I bought him 6 presents out of courtesy. Lily is my daughter." "Family is family," Dad spoke up for the first time all morning. "We shouldn't be counting who gets what. That's not what Christmas is about." "Then maybe," Derek said quietly but with steel in his voice, "you all should have brought more presents for Lily, since family is family." An uncomfortable silence fell over the room. "Well," Mom said, clearing her throat awkwardly, "let's just continue with the presents, shall we?" Cameron, still pouting and red-faced, grabbed another present. This one had to Lily written in huge letters with glitter glue. Impossible to miss. But instead of handing it to her like a normal person, he started ripping it open. "Cameron, stop. That's not yours." I stood up quickly. "I want to see what it is." he said, tearing through the gold paper with aggressive yanks. Cameron, stop! I moved toward him, but he'd already gotten it open. It was one of Lily's art supply sets, the watercolor paints with the 48-color palette. I want this, he announced, clutching it to his chest. Cameron, that is Lily's present, I said firmly, reaching for it. You need to give it to her right now. No, I'm keeping it! He jerked away from me. I looked at my sister in disbelief. Brooke, control your son now. She shrugged, actually shrugged. He's just excited. Maybe Lily can share. She got so many things. Share? It's her present. Don't be selfish, Alicia, Mom said, like I was the one being unreasonable. It's Christmas. It's about giving and sharing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The room started spinning a little. I'm selfish? Your grandson is literally stealing my daughter's presents. You're making a mountain out of a molehill, Dad said dismissively. They're just things, Alicia. Material objects. Derek stood up next to me. Are you people listening to yourselves right now? But the Cameron was already on a rampage. He grabbed another present with Lily's name, ripped it open, then another and another. He was like a tornado tearing through package after package, tossing aside the wrapping paper I'd so carefully chosen, examining each item with this entitled smirk. These are mine now, he declared, piling them around himself. Lily's face had gone pale. Tears started streaming down her cheeks. Mommy! Her voice cracked. Those are mine! Make him stop! Please make him stop! Cameron, stop it! I shouted, trying to physically grab the presents back from him. Let him have fun, Alicia. Mom actually pushed me back, put her hands on my shoulders and pushed me away from her grandson. You're ruining Christmas with this attitude. That's when it happened. The moment that seared into my brain forever. The moment I can never unsee. Cameron grabbed the biggest box, the one containing Lily's special Victorian dollhouse, the gift she'd been dreaming about for 8 months. He ripped it open, saw what it was, and yelled, Yes, a dollhouse! I'm going to smash it! Lily's face just completely crumpled. Her shoulders shook with sobs, and my mother laughed. She actually threw her head back and laughed like it was the funniest thing she'd ever witnessed. Oh my goodness, Cameron, you're so funny. Look how excited he is. Dad was chuckling too, holding up his phone, recording the whole thing. This is hilarious. Cameron's on an absolute roll. This is going straight to Facebook. I looked at my daughter, my sweet, gentle daughter. Tears pouring down her face, her special day completely destroyed. Her dreams literally being torn apart. And my parents thought it was entertainment. They were laughing, filming, enjoying themselves. Something inside me just snapped. You need to leave now. The laughter stopped. Everyone turned to look at me. Are you seriously kicking us out on Christmas over some toys? Mom's smile faded. This isn't about toys, Mom. My voice came out eerily calm, which scared even me. This is about you watching my daughter sob while you laughed and filmed it. Get out of my house. Alessia, you're being ridiculous. I said get out. The room went completely silent. Derek moved to stand beside me, his hand on my shoulder. A united front. You don't mean that, Dad said slowly, lowering his phone finally. I absolutely mean it. I was shaking now, but standing firm. You came into my home. You let Cameron destroy my daughter's Christmas. You physically pushed me aside to let him continue, and you laughed about it. You're not welcome here anymore. We're your parents, Mom shrieked, her face turning red. And Lily is your granddaughter, but you wouldn't know it by how you treat her. The words came pouring out. Every single time we're together, you ignore her. You dismiss everything she does. You act like she doesn't exist unless you can use her as a comparison to make Cameron look better. And today you laughed while she cried on Christmas morning. So yes, you need to leave right now. Alicia, come on. Brooke stood up, Cameron still clutching armfuls of Lily's presents. Cameron's just a kid. He didn't understand what he was doing. He understood perfectly because you never discipline him. And they, I pointed at my parents, enable every bratty thing he does. And you, Mom, you pushed your own daughter away to let him continue destroying things. Your own daughter. If we leave now, Dad said coldly, we're not coming back. Is that what you want? Good, Derek said firmly. Doors that way. They all stared at us for a long moment. I could see the calculations happening behind their eyes. The realization that I was serious. that Derek supported me completely, that this wasn't a bluff. Mom grabbed her purse with sharp, angry movements. Fine, be that way. Don't come crying to us when you need something. I won't need anything from people who treat my child like she's invisible, I said quietly. They left. Brooke grabbed Cameron, who was still clutching several of Lily's presents in his arms. I didn't even have the energy to fight about it anymore. What was the point? The door slammed so hard the windows rattled. Lily was sobbing in the corner of the room, curled into a small ball. Derek went to her immediately, scooping her up in his arms. I stood there shaking, watching through the front window as they loaded into Dad's SUV and drove away. Mommy? Lily's small voice shattered my heart into pieces. Did I do something wrong? Is this my fault? No, baby, no. I rushed to her and Derek, and we held her together, the three of us, in a tight embrace. You did nothing wrong, nothing at all. This is not your fault. The rest of Christmas Day was quiet. We let Lily open her remaining presents, the ones Cameron hadn't gotten to. Derek and I sat with her, making a big deal out of each one, trying to salvage something from the wreckage. We played with her new art supplies, watched her favorite movies, and I made grilled cheese and tomato soup, her comfort food. By bedtime, she seemed a little better, but I was absolutely furious, not just at what happened, but at myself, for letting it get that far, for not protecting her sooner, for all those Sunday dinners where I stayed quiet while they ignored her. The next morning, my phone exploded, text after text after text. My parents, Brooke, aunts, uncles, cousins I hadn't talked to in years, all saying variations of the same thing. You overreacted. You ruined Christmas. How could you kick out your elderly parents on Christmas Day? You're being cruel and selfish. Family forgives family. Cameron's just a child. Not one single person asked how Lily was doing. Not one. I blocked my parents' numbers. Then I wrote a detailed message in our family group chat explaining exactly what happened. No sugarcoating, no softening the truth. I described Cameron ripping through presents, my parents laughing while Lily cried, Mom physically pushing me away. I laid it all out. Then I left the chat and blocked everyone who'd sent me nasty messages. Derek's parents, who lived in California, called that evening. We heard what happened, his mom said gently. We're so sorry, sweetheart. Can we video chat with Lily? They spent an hour on FaceTime with her, asking about her presents, her art supplies, her drawings. They wanted to see everything. 2 days later, a package arrived with a note that said, From your real grandparents who love you. Inside was a beautiful set of colored pencils and a huge sketch pad. I cried reading that note. Over the next few months, I heard through mutual friends what was happening with my family. Apparently, Brooke had been relying heavily on our parents for free childcare and money. But without me there as the scapegoat, the difficult daughter they could bond over criticizing, cracks started showing fast. Cameron got expelled from his elementary school for bullying 3 different kids. Had to switch to a new school across town. Brooke couldn't handle working full-time and dealing with his constant behavior problems, so she cut her hours to part-time. Money got really tight. My parents, now fully responsible for Cameron every single afternoon, started realizing what an absolute nightmare he was. The constant demands, the explosive tantrums when he didn't get his way, the destruction. He apparently broke Mom's favorite lamp during a meltdown and didn't even apologize. Turns out when you spoil a kid completely rotten, he doesn't magically become grateful. Shocking. I heard through my cousin Rachel, one of the few family members who stayed neutral, that Dad complained to his brother that he couldn't even watch a football game in peace anymore because Cameron demanded constant attention. Mom told her sister she was exhausted from Cameron's daily meltdowns and felt like she was raising a toddler at 70 years old. Meanwhile, Brooke's ex-husband Logan decided he wanted more custody. Took her to court. The school reports about Cameron's behavior issues and expulsion didn't help her case at all. She ended up having to agree to 50-50 custody, which meant less child support coming in and more expenses for all the back-and-forth transfers. Without my parents' full-time help and less money coming in, Brooke struggled badly. She had to move out of my parents' house into a cramped 2-bedroom apartment in a less nice part of town, one she could barely afford even with her reduced rent. My parents, who'd promised to always help her and Cameron, suddenly discovered boundaries when it came to money. Funny how that works when reality hits. I didn't hear any of this directly from them. Of course, we had zero contact, but our town was small enough that word got back to me through the grapevine. In March, 4 months after Christmas, my mom showed up at my workplace. Just appeared in the reception area of the marketing firm where I worked, asking to see me. I came down to the lobby and there she was, looking older and more tired than I remembered. "I'm sorry," she said immediately. "I've been thinking a lot about everything, about how we treated Lily. You were right to kick us out." "Okay," I said flatly. "Okay, that's it? What do you want me to say, Mom? You want me to forgive you and tell you it's fine?" "It's not fine." "I know, but we're family. Can't we move past this? You chose Cameron over Lily repeatedly for 3 years. Then you laughed while my daughter cried on Christmas morning. You don't get to apologize once and have everything magically go back to normal. So what? You're just cutting us off forever? That's your solution?" "I'm protecting my daughter. Something you should understand since you're so busy protecting Cameron." "Please, Alicia." Her voice cracked. "I miss you. Your father misses you. You missed me while I was sitting right in front of you every Sunday for 3 years. You just didn't notice because Cameron was doing something more interesting. That's not fair, isn't it? Tell me one thing about Lily right now. Just one. One thing she likes, one thing she's good at, one hobby she has." Mom opened her mouth, then closed it again. She stood there searching for an answer. The silence stretched between us like a chasm. "That's what I thought," I said quietly. "You can't name a single thing because you never paid attention. But I bet you could tell me everything about Cameron's soccer schedule, his favorite foods, his friends' names. I know she likes art because of the supplies that Cameron. That doesn't count. You only know that because you saw him destroy them. Alicia, please, we made mistakes, but we want to fix this. We want our family back." "You don't want to fix anything. You want me to come back so Cameron has someone else to take attention away from him. So you can go back to ignoring Lily while pretending you're not playing favorites." "That's not true." "Then why are you here? Really? Did Dad send you? Is it because things are hard with Brooke and Cameron now? Because you need me to be the peacemaker again?" She didn't answer. The look on her face told me everything. I thought so. I picked up my bag. "You should go, Mom. I have work to do." "You're really going to throw away our entire relationship over this?" "I'm not throwing anything away. You did that when you chose who mattered in this family. I'm just finally accepting it." She tried several more times after that. Dad sent long emails about how hurt they were, how families should forgive, how I was being stubborn. Brooke sent a message saying I was punishing Cameron for being a kid. I didn't respond to any of it. Around May, I ran into my Aunt Patricia at Target. She cornered me near the home goods section. "Alicia, honey, when are you going to stop this nonsense?" she asked. "What nonsense?" "This whole drama with your parents. They're getting older. Life's too short for grudges." "You're right. Life is too short. Too short to spend it with people who hurt my daughter and don't even care. They didn't hurt her. Cameron's just a child who got overexcited. They laughed while she cried. They physically pushed me aside to let him continue destroying her presence. They made her feel worthless on Christmas morning. That's hurt." "Oh, you're being so dramatic. Kids are resilient. So Lily should just accept being treated like garbage because she's resilient? Would you tell your kids that?" Aunt Patricia's face flushed red. "That's different." "How? Because it's not your grandkids being affected?" She didn't have an answer. Funny how nobody ever did. In June, Brooke called from a number I didn't recognize. "What do you want?" I answered. "I need help. Cameron's therapist costs $400 a session and insurance only covers half. Mom and Dad can't keep paying for it. Can you help?" "No." "Alicia, please, he's family. He's struggling. He's struggling because you never taught him boundaries or consequences. That's not my problem to solve." "How can you be so cold? This is your nephew." "My nephew who destroyed my daughter's Christmas while you sat there on your phone. That nephew. And he was just a kid acting out? Then why are you punishing him now by actually parenting him? Interesting concept. You're horrible. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm simply not fixing problems that aren't mine to fix. You want help? Ask the parents who enabled him into this mess. Oh, wait. They can't afford it either. Guess that's what happens when you spend all your energy on the wrong things." I hung up. She didn't call back. 4 years have passed since that Christmas. Lily's 10 now, thriving without their toxicity in her life. She's confident, outgoing, and her art is genuinely amazing. We made new traditions, celebrate holidays with Derek's family and close friends who actually care about her. Sometimes she asks about my parents. I tell her the truth in age-appropriate ways. Sometimes people don't treat us the way we deserve, and it's okay to step away from them even if they're family. Last month, I heard through the grapevine that Cameron's still in therapy. Multiple issues, aggression, entitlement, no emotional regulation skills. Brooke's apparently drowning in therapy bills and medication costs, struggling to manage his behavior even with professional help. My parents, they're fully retired now, stuck dealing with the consequences of creating a monster they can't control. Every family gathering becomes about managing Cameron. Every holiday is stressful. They can't travel because Brooke needs their help constantly. I don't feel bad for them, not even a little bit. They made their choice. They chose to enable destructive behavior. They chose to laugh at my daughter's pain. They chose their golden grandchild over the grandchild who actually deserved their love and attention. Now they live with those choices. My family, my real family, is better off without them. Lily is happy, confident, and surrounded by people who genuinely love and see her. Derek and I are stronger than ever, and I learned the most important lesson of my life. Blood doesn't make you family. Love, respect, and showing up does. They had their chance. They blew it. And no amount of apologies or guilt trips will ever make me forget the sound of my mother's laughter while my daughter cried. Some bridges deserve to be burned. If your family played favorites and you finally cut them off, what was the final moment that made you do